MMA Boxing Talk here. Some big fights coming up this weekend. I can't wait. We're only 2 days away. Now, I'm going to start with the main event, UFC Auckland. Paul Felder versus Dan Hooker. I'm going to save the best for last. Wilder Fury prediction coming up real soon. This is going to be a short video. But the UFC main event this weekend, I'm really looking forward to it. It's an amazing matchup. I think it has the potential to be in the conversation for fight of the year when we look back on 2020. Just these two fighters, very aggressive strikers, natural strikers. They have their most success in the striking department. They're both very tough. We saw Paul Felder, well, he fought Barboza twice. Both fights were, he took a lot of damage, a lot more in the first. The second one, he still took enough damage. Hooker took a lot of damage against Barboza as well. Took a long time for Barboza to actually put him out and finish him. The ref might have been able to stop it earlier, but regardless, both these guys can endure a lot of pain. Very durable fighters. So that's a huge part and reason why it could go be one of the fights of the year. They're both, come forward. Felder a little more, come forward. Hooker likes to fight at range a little bit more, keep a distance. But I honestly see this fight going all 5 rounds, even though there could be a stoppage, but I see it going all 5 rounds, and I see Felder winning the decision. Now, that's going to be tough to do that, in Hooker's backyard, but I think he can get it done. I think him walking forward, maybe capitalizing on some of Hooker's, his defense. He gets hit clean a little bit more than Felder. Felder, has his guard up, walks you forward. Hooker has his guard down, his hands are down. Now, so I just think just a small thing like that could be really detrimental to Hooker. And I know the crowd's going to be behind Hooker, but I just see Felder having more moments in the fight where maybe he can rock or stumble Hooker. We'll see. Felder isn't known for having KO power other than his elbows, but really looking forward to this one. I see it obviously going either way, but I'm gonna favor just slightly, Paul Felder. I think he'll get a decision. Maybe he could get a stoppage late, but I'm gonna say decision for Paul Felder. Now, the boxing, the heavyweight championship, WBC and lineal heavyweight championship are on the line. We got Wilder rematch and Tyson Fury. The first fight was a draw. Personally, I thought Fury, even with the knockdowns, I thought Fury did enough to win. There was a lot of close swing rounds after rewatching the fight, but I still think Fury did enough to win on the scorecards. Now, it was a draw. I thought, that was fair in a way because Wilder was very close to getting, to stopping Fury. He barely made the count. I have no problem with the count. Clearly, Jack Reese, the referee, made the right decision, allowing Fury to continue because when he got up, he proceeded to, win the rest of that round in the 12th against Wilder. So, obviously, it was the right decision. Now, this fight, it's an amazing matchup. You got one of the hardest hitting punchers in boxing history, if not the hardest, specifically with that straight right hand of Wilder. And it doesn't have to be a long windup. He can throw it short, quick, in tight. But that right hand is one of the most dangerous weapons in boxing history. So that's very interesting. Even though the fight might not be, action packed every second, knowing Wilder has that detonator in his right hand, you're on the edge of your seat the whole fight because at any time he could put someone out or put Fury out. Now, Fury boxed well in the first one. I think he got a little complacent late. He can't do that in this rematch if he wants to win. He has to be I said this in my preview video a few weeks back, maybe a month ago, that he has to be switched on. Fury has to be the whole fight. He can't get he can't take a break. He can't get lazy in there. He has to stay sharp and focused the whole time. And I think he can do that and get it done, because the simple fact that he knows what can happen if he's not careful, if he's not switched on. Another thing too, we got to remember, when Fury fought Wilder the first time, yeah, he had a couple tune-ups, but a year prior to that fight, or maybe it was a little more than a year prior to the Wilder Fury first fight, Fury weighed over almost 400 pounds. So cutting that weight, yes, he was in much better shape and he had lost all sorts of weight, but I don't think he was at his, at his optimal condition, optimal anything, because he was much better off than at 400 pounds. But I think now he's tightened up. You can just see in his stomach, he had a lot of fat, even like over like his trunks kind of thing in the first fight. There was none of that in the Klitschko fight. There'll be none of that on Saturday. He's much more tight. He's lean. He's cut. When you're 400 pounds and you balloon up, it takes a long time to get down and trim and actually be, have definition a little bit. And you can see it starting to be there. I think he's in possibly the best shape I've seen him in. So that's a good sign. I think even though his last two fights, were questionable, who knows, was he really getting up for these fights? Fury, I feel, is the type of guy, he almost, for the most part, fights at his opponent's level sometimes. The Klitschko fight was a huge fight. He performed well and he got the job done. The Wilder fight, I thought he got the job done, even though I'm not going to be too critical with the decision. That draw, I thought, was fair enough. But I just think Fury really gets up for the big fights, and he knows what he's got on his hands. The last one, he almost got finished, so I think he's going to be ready. He's going to be switched on. He's going to win a unanimous decision. Some people think he could possibly get a stoppage. I'm not so sure. Maybe. A lot of people are picking Wilder to win, and for good reason. But I got Tyson Fury, and those are my reasons why. Unanimous decision. Maybe a split, but decision for Tyson Fury. Going to go all 12 rounds. That's it for this one. If you liked the video, subscribe. Peace.